Hey, loves. I just wanted to send this to you real quick. And thinking about the storm out there and how it can be a little scary, and everybody thinks about losing power in the middle of the night and losing power for days, and the possible flooding and the heavy rain and the winds and all. It can be, if you're not careful, you can get a little bit fearful. But I wanted to just share two little passages from the Bible, out of Matthew's Gospel, that tell about two instances with Jesus and about storms. So, and let this build your faith to where you know that God has everything under control. The first one, this will be real quick. The first one is found in Matthew chapter 8. It's where Jesus calms the sea. It's starting with verse 23. It says, "And when he was entered into a ship, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with waves. But he was asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he saith unto them, Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and he rebuked the winds. He rebuked them and the sea, and there was a great calm after that. But the men marveled, saying," and I love this, they said, "What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him?" Like, what kind of a man is this, that he can make the winds and the sea obey his command? And then the next part is, the next passage is in Matthew chapter 14. And it's where Jesus walks on the sea. Starting with verse 22. It says, "And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to go into a ship, and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away." He had just performed his great miracle of feeding the multitudes. 5,000, the Bible says at least 5,000 men, and that's beside the women and children. So sometimes people have estimated that it could be as much as 10,000 people that were there, that he fed with 2 fish and 5 loaves, and still had 12 baskets full left over after everybody was filled. But it says, "And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship, and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit." They didn't know what it was. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer. It is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto thee onto the water. And Jesus said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And when they were come unto the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth, thou art the Son of God. So Peter, everything seemed okay with him as long as he had his eyes on Jesus. Walking on the water himself, walking on the wild waves in the water and the wind blowing, he was okay because he looked at Jesus. But he took his eyes off Jesus and he looked at the storm. And that's when he began to sink. And so tonight, as it gets rough outside and things are going on, that could cause us to be a little bit fearful. We worry about damages, we worry about we would be hurt, we worry about We would be afraid. We worry about will a window blow out, or will our houses flood, or whatever. No, let's, instead of looking at the storm, let's be determined tonight that we know that God is on our side, and let's keep our eyes on Jesus. If we keep our eyes on Jesus, we're going to be okay. So, and remember, He is the one that just by His command, He can calm the wind and the waves. So let's think about Jesus. I love you all, and we're going to get through this, and we'll be okay. And if there's any damages, well, things can be fixed, or we can get something new, and we don't worry about that. But just keep your eyes on Jesus, and just know that I love you, and we're going to be okay. All right. Love you all.